Hi guys, welcome to another exciting video on Java tutorial. Now remember, we have already looked at different classes in the collection interface. We have looked at something called as hash tables, we have looked at hash maps, we have looked at stacks, vectors and so on. Today we are going to talk about another class called as a dictionary class, how it is being implemented. I will see you on the other side guys. Alright, so I hope you already know what are dictionaries because we use every day in our lives. So remember, whenever we do not understand a particular word, normally we will go through a dictionary, we will look for that word and we will get the meaning for that particular word. Similarly, we can create a dictionary within our Java also. So there is an inbuilt abstract class called dictionary, right? So this dictionary also can be built in Java. But the underlying data structure that we will be using is nothing but your tree maps or hash tables or linked hash maps to implement your dictionary, because dictionary itself is not a concrete class, it's an abstract class guys, and that is the reason the underlying data structure we can use is tree maps, hash tables or linked hash maps. So in this particular video I will show you an example by using a hash table, right? So you already know what are dictionaries, so we will see in Java how it is being used. Now dictionary is an abstract class. Similar to your hash table and hash maps, the data will be stored in terms of key and value. Every key will have a particular value and it is going to get stored in the dictionary, right? So similar to your hash tables and hash maps, right? Next, the whatever key you give is called as an object. So for that particular key, I can store a particular value. So I can either retrieve the value for a particular key if I give a key, if I give a particular key, or if I give a value, I can retrieve a particular key. Vice versa, right? Whenever I want to declare a dictionary, remember I have to write the keyword called class, or if I want to define a dictionary class, I have to write class dictionary, right? And K stands for basically your key, V stands for your value. So whenever I talk about dictionaries, I again said that it will be stored in terms of key value pairs. Now when I talk about constructors in dictionary, there is only one single constructor guys. As we have seen in the previous videos about hash table and hash maps, you normally have about 4 constructors, 4 different constructors. But in dictionary class we will have only one single constructor guys. It's an unparameterized constructor, it does not have any parameters. So we will just continue with the functions which are used in this dictionary, we will see in the next slide guys. Alright, I hope you are able to see the functions that are being used in our dictionary class. The first function we will talk about is something called as elements. Now whenever I talk about elements, we are talking about the value, right? So V, you can see there that that V basically stands for values. If I want a particular value, whatever values I have in my dictionary, then I will normally use a function called elements to retrieve all the values. Now in this case we will be using enumeration interface. So basically it will return the enumeration of all the values in my dictionary. The second function that we have is a get function. Now this get function is normally, you have already seen in the previous programs that get function is used to retrieve the value, right, for a particular given key. So you can see within that get function I have given the value, the parameter that I have given there is key, right? That means that it will basically return a particular value for the key that I have given in that parameter. If the key is not there in the dictionary, it will return a null. Next we have another function called as is empty. Now this is empty is basically to check if the dictionary is empty or not. If the dictionary is empty, it will return a boolean value called true. If the dictionary is not empty, it will return a boolean value called false. Next we have another function called keys. Just like elements, we have a function called keys. Now keys is also a function basically used to return all the keys in my dictionary, right, for which we are also again using an enumeration interface. So basically it will return all the enumeration, returns all the enumeration of keys, right, enumeration keys. So all the keys which are present in my dictionary, it will just return all of them. Next we have a function called put. Now put you already know, whenever we want to enter some value into my dictionary, I told you we will use a hash table in our example. So when I talk about a hash table, I have a key that I have to give and also a value. That is the reason in that put function we have given 2 parameters. One is your key, another is your value. Key will basically be linked to a particular value. Next we have another function called as remove function. This remove function is basically used to remove the key value pair in your dictionary. So if I in my remove function I have to specify which key value pair. By just giving the key, it will remove that key value pair and it will return the value of whichever key is being removed. Finally, we have another function called size. Now size is a function, basically it will return the size of my dictionary. If I have entered 4 values into my dictionary, it will return 4 as the size. If I have entered 8 values in my dictionary, it will return the size as 8. Now we will see these functions in action in a program that I'll show you next, guys. Alright, I hope you are able to see this particular program here, guys. I have created a program called as dictionary demo, and the class I have created also is called as dictionary demo. Right? So in this particular program, I will be using a class, abstract class called dictionary and a class called hashtable. So for these classes to be recognized, I have to import a package called util. Within this package called util, I have to import, I can import the specific class that I want to use in my program. If I give a star, it means it will just import all the classes in my util package. So for this classes to be recognized, I have to import it using this import line, right? Next, within my main function, I have declared a dictionary abstract class for which I have used a reference called DC. Now DC is a reference for dictionary, guys. For this dictionary, we have created a reference called DC. Now remember, abstract classes we cannot create objects. We can only create references. Now this DC also will work like an object because we are creating a hash table object here, guys. Now remember, in this particular hash table, we are going to store 2 string values. I can store any type of value, heterogeneous values, but in this particular example, we will see how to store 2 string values, because remember, we are trying to implement a dictionary. Now in this case, you can see here, using my object called DC, I am calling a function called put. We already know, whenever we want to enter a value into the dictionary, I have to mention the key as well as a value. So you can see here, the first parameter I am giving is code, which is my key, and the second parameter that I am giving here is a value for that particular key. So in this case, I am just giving the meaning. In this case, the key is code and the value is a system of words and letters. So basically, this is the word I am searching for, and this is the meaning of that particular word, and this is called as key and this is called as value. Similarly, I have entered one more key value pair for a word called program. The meaning is a series of coded software instructions. So these are the 2 key value pairs I am entering into my dictionary using a hash table. I am using a hash table to enter them, guys. Next, we want to print whatever values are there in my dictionary. Now in this case, values are one on the right hand side here. So a system of words and letters is a value, a series of coded software instructions is another value. So if I want to print these 2 values, I am going to write this for loop now for that. Now in this for loop, you can see here, I have created an enumeration interface and I have created a variable called I for that enumeration interface, right? And it is equated initially to the elements of my hash table. Now elements, remember, we have already seen, is a function which will return the enumeration of all the values that are present in my dictionary. Now the second, this is a normal for loop, guys. It is not a for each loop, it is a normal for loop. So that is the reason this first part is called as initialization. I am initializing this variable I or the object I to the elements of my dictionary, and this is a condition we are setting. Now on the right hand side, after this semicolon, we do not have any increment or decrement operator. We are just setting the condition here. I dot has more elements. Now this particular function will basically send, or it will check if the elements are present in my dictionary or not. If the elements are present, this has more elements function will return true. If the elements are not present in my dictionary, this has more elements will return a false. So obviously because we have entered 2 values here, or 2 key value pairs, this will obviously return true, right? And then it will go inside, it will print value in dictionary I dot next element. Now this next element will basically return the next element in my dictionary. So basically it will print a system of words, letters, right? Then it will go into the for loop again. It will check this condition. This condition is true again. It will go and again print value in dictionary. The next element is basically a series of coded software instructions that is going to get printed here. Again it will go back. I dot has more elements. Again it will check if the elements are present. Now this time there are no more elements. There were only 2 elements present and it has printed both those elements. So it will come as soon as this is false, the condition is false, it will come out of this for loop and it will go to the next statement. Now these two statements are basically we are going to use to get the values for a particular key. Remember, we have already talked about a function called get function. This get function will basically return for a given key a particular value. So in this case, right, the first statement, my println statement, it is saying value at a key. Okay, do you think there is a value called or a key called hello here? No, we have a key called code and we have a key called program. So when I, for example, if I use a get function, so dc.get function, this get function, if I pass a parameter called hello as a key, it is not there in my dictionary. Because it is not there in my dictionary, this will return a null. This will return a null, right? So it will print value at key is equal to hello colon null, it's going to print. Next, we are going to print the value of another key called code. Yes, when I use the get and I pass a parameter called code, you can see here we do have a key called code for which we have a value called a system of words and letters. Now in this case, this is going to return that particular value for this code. It's going to print value at key is equal to code. It's going to print a system of words comma letters is going to print here, guys, right? Next, we are going to use isEmpty function to check if that given dictionary is empty or not. So already you know that we have entered two values, key value pairs in my dictionary. That means it is not empty. But remember, this isEmpty function will either return a true or false. True means dictionary there is some values present. If isEmpty returns a false, that means there is no values, key value pairs present in my dictionary. So in this case, obviously we know it is there. So this dc.isEmpty is going to return false, right? It is not empty. There is no key value pair. This is going to return false, right? It's going to print false. Next, we have another for loop. Now in this case, this for loop is used to get the enumeration of all the keys present. Previous for loop was used for getting all the values. This for loop is going to be used for getting all the keys. Now you can see a same thing similar to the previous for loop. I have used an enumeration interface for which I have created an object called k, and initially that is equated to keys. Now keys is a function which will basically return the enumeration of all the keys present in my dictionary. Okay, so initially k is equal to keys, right, dc.keys, and then we have this condition called as has more elements. We have already seen this has more elements is a function which will basically return if those keys are present in that dictionary or not. So obviously we know there are keys present, so it will return true and it will go inside my for loop. So keys in dictionary, in this case again we are using k dot next element, right? Now the k dot next element will basically print the next key which is there in my dictionary, right? So it's going to print keys in dictionary. It is going to print initially, it is going to print code, and then the next time it goes into for loop, it is going to print program, right? Next, finally we have another function called as a remove function, right? This remove function is basically used to remove the key value pair completely from my dictionary. So in this case, I am telling to remove the key value pair, or basically the key which is code. I want to remove the code and the value for that particular key called code. That is what I am trying to do here. So now what it will do is this dc.remove will basically remove this complete key value pair completely. That is code will be removed. This value called a system of words comma letters also will be removed, and it will print the value here. This value will be printed here. Right, so remove colon a system of words comma letters will be printed here. It will remove the key value pair and it basically return the value which has been removed. So it will print the value here. Next, we are checking if the value has been removed. So using this dc.get, we are checking if that value has been removed or not. Yes, obviously the value has been removed, so it will return a false. So next we have or it will return a null, I'm sorry. Next we have size of dictionary, guys. Now this size is a function basically which will return the size of my dictionary. In this case, remember the size was initially 2, right? 2 key value pairs were there, but when we use this remove function, the code key value pair was removed, the first key value pair was removed, there is only one key value pair left. So the size of my dictionary it will print here as 1, guys. So we will just execute this program and see the output for this program, guys. Alright, so you can see the output here, guys. It says the value in the dictionary initially it has printed, as you can see here, Initially the value of my dictionary is code, or basically it is in this for loop it is returning value in dictionary, a series of code software instructions, and then another one is a system of words comma letters. Now remember the entry into my dictionary, the order is not preserved. Remember, we are using hash tables. Whenever you make an entry into a hash table, the order in which you make the entry is not preserved. So it's a very important thing, guys. Next, we are checking, we are getting the value at a particular key. So that is what this is doing here, right? So value at key hello. Remember, hello is not there in my dictionary, so it's going to return null here, right? Next, we do have a value called code, and hence it is returning the value at that particular key. The key, remember, you can see here a system of words letters is the value for my code, for my key called code, right? So that is the reason it is going to print a system of words comma keys letters. Next, it is checking if the function is empty or not, if the dictionary is empty or not. So in this case you can see here there is no key value pair, it is returning a false, because remember this dictionary is not empty, guys. Next, we have a key, now we are printing keys here, so that is the reason we have written here again a for loop, and it is basically printing the two keys, program and code, which is already there. Now next we are using a remove function. This remove function is going to remove the key value pair for this key called code, right, and it is going to return the value of that code. That is what is happening here. So here it is printing the value of the key which has been removed. Fine. Next statement, check the value removed key. We are using again a get function to check if the value is present for this key called code. So obviously the code key is not present, hence it is going to return a null. Finally, remember we have removed a key value pair, the first one, and hence you can see here it is printing the size is not 2 now, it is going to be 1, because we have already removed one key value pair. Okay, so I hope you have understood this program, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you do have any questions, please ping me, guys, and I will be definitely giving you the link in the description. I am going to give you a link to this particular PPT as well as the code. So if you do have any questions, please do ping me, guys, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you, and see you back in another video, guys. Thank you.